Hello everybody, I'm Drew Gisinger, freshman attackman on the men's lacrosse team, and I'm joined by new head coach of the women's lacrosse team, William Mahon. So my first question is, how excited are you being able to be named head coach for the women's lacrosse team?
It's an exciting opportunity after spending the last year with this team. I feel like I've really felt the bond with them. I'm really excited to see them succeed, and so being able to be in a role like the head coach, really hopefully lead them to success is a really exciting opportunity for me.
Despite the recent past, there seems to be a large excitement around the women's lacrosse team, and what do you think has led into that?
Well, obviously, as of recent, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the previous lacrosse seasons pretty significantly. I know last year between opt-outs and canceled games, schedule changes, it was a bit of a disappointment for the women. They worked really hard to be ready for all these games, and even with the short numbers after, like I said, opt-outs and situations like that, they really battled last year, and unfortunately didn't get the opportunities for that to really reflect in the record. So I think this year, the opportunity of hopefully a uninterrupted season, along with the addition of a couple new incoming freshmen this year, I think there's a lot to be excited about with this team, and I think this is going to be a really big year for them.
So my next question are, who are some of the top returners coming back this season?
Obviously, the first people I have to mention are returning captains, Emily Esposito and Amanda Ramirez. They do a lot for us on the back end of the field in our defensive zone, and obviously help out a ton in the midfield as far as transitioning the ball into offense. And Emily plays a good amount of offense as well for us too. So it's really nice having them back and ready to go this season. They're doing a great job leading us into what I think is going to be a very successful season. But when I talk about the defense, obviously we have to bring up our returning goaltender, Lauren Bain. I think she was a huge piece of the success that we saw last year and in the fall this year. So the three of them having our backs down on the defensive end is huge. And obviously the offensive end is important too. We've got a couple pretty skilled returners between Tyler Marzouk and Jana Kelty. They're both, I'd say, two of the more dangerous players from up top on the midfield line for us. So I think there's some of the big pieces that we're going to be expecting some success from this year.
To add off my last question, who are some of the top newcomers that enter the program this season?
I'd say the newcomers that I think of the most right now, at least on the offensive end, are Paige and Melissa. I think on opposite sides of the field there, dangerous from both directions, having one lefty, one righty there. I think they're going to be a huge piece of our offense this year, and we're going to see the stat lines reflect that, hopefully.
My last question is to ask, what was your reaction to see your team's placement in the CACC preseason poll?
Well, no one wants to be at the bottom of the list, but can't be too surprised when the information and the stat lines that we get to go off of happened in the COVID years. Obviously last year was a tough one, and we didn't give them any reason to vote us any higher as far as record goes. So, the poll is what it is. I think it's only going to be that way for so long. I expect, pretty big jump from our spot at the moment. Through the fall and beginning of spring with these young ladies, there's been a tremendous amount of growth shown, and I think we're going to be a dangerous team for any of the teams who are anywhere near us on that list this year. So I'm expecting a swift rise, on those numbers for us.
That's awesome. Is there anything you'd like to add?
I mean, nothing more than I'm just excited to be here, excited to get after it with these young ladies and see what the season holds for us, and hopefully change some minds in the polls, but also just have a really good season and come out feeling like we did the right thing and we had some success.